my name is Julia, and as you can tell, this is my first ever video. As my first video, I thought there would be no better way to introduce myself than to do the Booktube newbie tag. If you don't know what that is, basically it's 10 questions that the internet asked about new booktubers. So without further ado, let's get started. The first question is, why did you start this channel? So I've actually wanted to start this channel for a really long time, but I've never built up enough courage to do it. I've actually recorded this video multiple times, but I never actually uploaded it because I've been scared. I've really been working on growing as a person, and I realized that one of the ways that I need to grow is to just stop caring so much about what other people are gonna think of me and start doing things for me and doing things that I love. And this is one of the things that I love to do. I have always been the type of person to put other people before me in literally every single situation, and that's a blessing and a curse, but in this situation it got to a point where it was just unhealthy, and I realized that I needed to do things for me. I've been watching Booktube since forever, and it's just something that makes me happy, and I've wanted to do this for so long, and it's just time. Question number 2 is, what are some fun and unique things you can bring to Booktube? So I think like any new booktuber, I can bring a new perspective that maybe hasn't been brought up before. I know I'm not the only reader who does this, but I've always loved about myself that I am able to so deeply feel the emotions of characters even if they're not real. It's crazy how emotional and angry and happy I get just from investing myself into a book. The book that comes to mind first, for some reason, is The Art of Racing in a Rain by Garth Stein. I remember reading that book, and it took me like a month to read because I was getting so unbelievably sad that I would have to put the book down and take mental breaks from a book. That's how sad I was getting. I had just so heavily invested myself into the main character that I could feel every single emotion he was feeling, most of which was heartbreak and loss. Because I'm able to feel emotions on such a deep and personal level, I think that's something really unique I can share with you guys. Question number 3 is, what are you most excited about for this new channel? So I'm most excited about the fact that I'm just gonna grow in myself, and I have a really hard time setting goals for myself, and that makes my life so boring. So this channel will give me the outlet to continuously set goals for myself every single day. And I'm also very excited about the people I'm gonna meet. I live in a very small town, and it's so hard to meet people that have the same interests as you, including reading. So Booktube will allow me to reach out to people that have the same interest as me. And I just have a feeling I'm gonna make some lifelong friends through Booktube. Question number 4 is, why do you love reading? So I have tried so many activities trying to find something I love. I've tried 4-H, horse riding, acrobats, Girl Scouts, softball, you can name it, and I probably tried it. But reading was the only consistent thing in my life and the only thing that stuck. Growing up, we moved a lot, and I had a lot of friends walk in and out of my life constantly, so reading was the only thing that was there. I literally don't know what I would have done with myself if I didn't have reading. Question number 5 is, what book or series got you into reading? I feel like this is everybody's answer, but this series really was a game changer for, literature and reading in general, I think. I know a lot of people are going to disagree with me, but I don't care. The Twilight Saga got me into reading. I was probably 13 or 14 the first time I read Twilight. Before I had been reading here or there, but it was definitely not as constant as I read now. I live right by an airport, and there is a plane flying over my house right now. Anyway, I had gone to my school's library during study hall because I was trying to waste time during study hall. I had all my homework done, everything was done, so I went to the library and I had seen Twilight. I think I just saw the single book, not the whole series or saga, just Twilight. And I remember I had seen that movie before, and I was like, I just felt this urge to read it. I don't know why, maybe it was like a sign, I'm not sure. So I read it, and I absolutely fell in love with it. That was the first time I had fell in love with a book. I felt most connected to Bella when I read Twilight. Because of that feeling, it was almost euphoric to me, and I just wanted to keep reading, and it just snowballed into me being this profound reader that I am today. Question number 6 is, what are some questions you would ask your favorite booktubers? So I have so many favorite booktubers, but the one that I always go back to is Haley in Bookland. I feel like I have a very similar personality to her. We've been through some of the same struggles, and we have a very similar taste in books. So I think I would ask her what has been her biggest struggle during Booktube and what has been her proudest moment. I have the questions written down right here if you see me looking over here. Question number 7 is, what challenges do you think starting a Booktube channel will be the hardest to overcome? So like I mentioned earlier, even though I am working on putting myself first and not caring what other people think, I'm not there yet. So my biggest struggle is definitely going to be thinking that I'm not good enough and comparing myself to other channels. And that's going to be something I have to work on over time. It's going to be an inside struggle, a mental struggle, a mental struggle. But it's definitely something I will overcome. And I have improved from where I used to be until now. It's a lot better, but I'm not there yet. And so that's what I'm gonna have to work on the most. Question number 8 is, when did you start reading? So the first memory I have reading is reading Dr. Seuss's Fox and Socks with my mom. That was the first book I vividly remember reading. After that, I remember reading Because of Winn-Dixie. I can't remember the author, DiCamillo, I think. Kate DiCamillo, I think. I remember reading that book a lot. That was my all-time favorite book growing up. And of course, like I mentioned earlier, I was 13 or 14 when I started reading Twilight, and that was the first book that I fell in love with. I felt love for that book. So that's when I started reading constantly, quite often. Question number 9 is, where do you read? So I usually read in my bed, right here. That's why I'm making this video in my bed, because that's where I feel most comfortable. And when I read, I like to feel comfortable. That's where I read the absolute most. I also read at my boyfriend's house because I'm there a lot. If it's nice out, I'll go to the park and read. I'll go to the lake and read. Just kind of, wherever I'm feeling. But primarily I read in my bed because it's comfy. The last question, question number 10, is, what kind of books do you like to read? I love exciting books that put you on edge and make you feel powerful. I don't know, empowered. I think that's the word I'm looking for. So I get that kind of feeling from fantasy books. So some of my favorites are Lord of the Rings. I think it's somewhere up there. Lord of the Rings, The Chronicles of Narnia, I Kill Giants, the Twilight Saga, the Harry Potter series, the Queen of Hearts trilogy, and literally so many more. I don't think there's a fantasy book that I have read that I haven't liked. I don't think so. I mean, I don't want to say which one I don't like. Maybe when I get more comfortable, because there is one that I didn't like, but I'll talk about that later. I also like nonfiction books. 2 of my favorites are Into Thin Air and Into the Wild, both by John Crocker. Those were absolutely fantastic books and definitely are in my top 10 favorite books of all time. But my guilty pleasure when reading is the Disney spin-off books, where the author will ask a question in the title and then answer it throughout the book. So the one I'm reading right now is As Old as Time by Liz Braswell, and that one's like a Beauty and the Beast spinoff, and I love Beauty and the Beast, so that was the first one I picked out. And the question she posed is, what if Belle's mother cursed the beast? It's so cool. Well, that was it for the Booktube newbie tag. I really wanted to thank everyone who watched this. This is literally the very beginning of my career with Booktube, and I really hope you stay along for this journey. I'm sorry if I'm not that good yet. I'm really gonna work on it. I think this week I'm going to try to post a video every single day just to really get the ball rolling. And then once I kind of get the hang of things and I get kind of a schedule down, I'll figure everything out. But this week, I think I am going to post every single day. I think my next video is going to be my March TBR, so stay tuned for that video. And again, thank you so much for watching, and I really hope you stay for this journey.